Ever since I studied the writing of W.B. Yeats and James Joyce at a university in the very Irish city of Boston, I always wanted to go to Ireland. This year I finally got the chance, along with my wife Lar and my sister Jane. Come along and share the scenery, the food, and of course, the music. On top of the storehouse, there's a good view of Dublin, and after a couple of pints, my sister was smiling. We walked across the River Liffey into downtown Dublin, exploring the neighborhoods and visiting the local sites, such as St. Patrick's Cathedral. We found plenty of places to have lunch, and did some window shopping in a renovated townhouse called the Powerscourt Center. We browsed through ceramics, glassware, and men's lingerie. Of course, we had to take a look inside the local Asian market, where we found some interesting folk art. On the streets of Dublin, as in the rest of Ireland, we saw some great street murals. We took a tour of Trinity College, Ireland's oldest university, where a provost once said that women would only be allowed in over his dead body. He died in 1904, the same year women started attending. Now the student body is 64% women, and they like to pose with his statue after graduating. Trinity's geology department has been housed here in what is known as the Museum Building for 160 years. It is built appropriately enough from a wide variety of stone. It took 2 men 7 years to carve these exterior decorations. The long room of Trinity's library has 200,000 of the university's oldest books. We enjoyed listening to Dublin's buskers, and we stopped in at the Whiskey Museum and went out to sample Dublin's nightlife. There's nothing quite like the Irish pub version of a John Denver song. There was traditional Irish music as well, and even a woman dancing on the bar. The next morning, it was time to pick up the rental car and get on the road. Our first stop was the Rock of Cashel, a cluster of medieval buildings regarded as among the best preserved such buildings in Europe. Even on a foggy day, they have a beautiful view over the countryside. We drove on to Kinsale on the southeast coast, where many of the shops and houses are painted in bright colors. There's a mural of the poet Desmond O'Grady on the wall of a pub he liked to frequent. This bookstore was founded by a pilot, not a poet. We hiked up to Charles Fort, a 17th century fort built to defend Kinsale Harbor after the Spanish Armada failed to join up with Catholic Ireland against Protestant England. The fort is considered one of the best preserved of the star-shaped forts in Europe. There's the captain of the garrison, and there's the Queen.
Turn left onto Castle Street.
Sadly, we had to leave Kinsale and go looking for a somewhat remote Airbnb near Killarney.
Did
I mentioned, it's a tent. Glad we got four-wheel drive, yeah. There it is, up there.
Only go one time a day, okay? Is this sure?
That's it, yes.
The red one or the green one?
The cottage turned out to be one of our favorite places to stay during the whole trip, and we had a lot of good times and a lot of good meals there. We hiked up into the sheep fields behind the cottage. We didn't get as high up as I wanted to, but we did get high enough up to get a good view. In our expeditions from the cottage, we soon discovered why they call Ireland the Emerald Isle. We drove to the town of Dingle, which didn't impress us that much, but we pushed on to Slayhead Drive, one of Ireland's most scenic roads. I will let the scenery speak for itself. Yeah. Wow. On a Sunday, Laura and I drove in the rain to see Blarney Castle. The castle is best known for what is called the Stone of Eloquence, believed to confer the gift of gab. When you explore castles, though, you have to squeeze 21st century bodies through 14th century openings. I tried to play tour guide.
So, like, people are attacking the castle, they pour like boiling water down and stuff like that on top of the people. That's why they call it the murder hole.
Okay.
Like millions of other people each year, we wanted to see the Cliffs of Moher, Ireland's most popular natural attraction. We saw nature stripped down to its most basic elements, a battle of wind, water, and stone. The ocean always wins, carving down through layers of shale and other sedimentary rock. We drove out to Loophead Lighthouse, pausing for a moment to meditate on the waves. Every day, we would see so many different landscapes, including places where water sculpted bridges from stone. We explored the roads of Burren National Park, but sometimes we were told to turn back. Oh. We were trying to find a good view in the park, and finally, a jogger gave us some directions. This area has been under both tropical seas and glaciers, but now it just looks like a solemn festival of limestone. We drove north up the west coast, passing the 800-year-old Oranmore Castle, where visitors are allowed to spend the night. Galway is a bohemian town, and its cobblestone streets are lined with boutiques, cafes, and independent shops. We found a whole new array of beverages to investigate. Everywhere we went in Ireland, we were met with warm hospitality and superb food. On our last night in Ireland, we snagged a reservation at this bistro, which had rave reviews on TripAdvisor. Our trip was a swirl of vivid landscapes, elegant buildings, and noisy pubs. We've left this table, but we still share our memories of steep cliffs, green fields, and tasty seafood.